Hey y'all. All right, here we go with our very first study of the names of God. So this is day 1, and I told y'all yesterday that our name was going to be Yahweh. Or remember that, okay? Yahweh originally translated was YHWH, okay? In German, that was JHVH. Remember that German, okay? It's not important for today, but it's going to be, okay? Now, remember yesterday when I told y'all that the ancient Hebrew, they don't use vowels. So in translation, the YHWH was translated into Yahweh, YAHWEH. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that it's also known as the name. In Hebrew, that is called Hashem. It's also known as the great and terrible name, the unutterable name, the ineffable name, and the holy name. For those of you that don't know, ineffable means too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. I find myself ineffable a lot with things that just happen daily with students, my child, the things that my own kid says. I'm like, I just don't have words for that. People acting like they have absolutely no sense that God gave them. I'm just ineffable. I have no words, okay? Anyway, side fact, rabbit hole. Why do you ask then? Why couldn't they just say Yahweh? Well, and y'all, this is as best as I can find, okay? Over the years, less and less people, the Israelites, the priest, said Yahweh. It was through the years, the regular Jewish people didn't say it. Because they didn't know how to really pronounce it, all right? But they know they did not want to profane the name of God, okay? They did not want to say his name wrong, all right? So they just didn't say it at all, okay? And if they found themselves in a situation where they were having to refer to that name, they would just say Hashem, the name. Or the great and terrible name, unutterable name, ineffable name, the holy name. They would just pick one of those and say that instead. Basically, Jewish tradition holds this name too holy to pronounce it wrong, okay? Wow. I just think that that's awesome. Instead of doing something wrong that would just, I hate when people say my name wrong. Like, I don't correct them, but I don't like it when they say it wrong, especially if they should know me. Especially people in my family. I've got people in my family still don't say my name right. That bothers me. A stranger doesn't so much bother me, but whatever. Okay, anyway, another rabbit hole. See, the ancient Hebrew did not use vowels, so YHWH was not really a word, but more of a sound. So when it was translated and they put the vowels in there, they didn't know how to say it, okay? So they just didn't use it, all right? Now, what does the name Yahweh mean? Literally, YHWH means something like, I can't be 100,000% certain, but it means something like he who causes to be or become, or he who brings into existence. Now, I want you to remember this too, if you're taking notes. The Hebrew root is Haya or Hawa, okay? Also, that's also where the pronunciation Yahweh came from, all right? So just keep that in your notes, in your side notes, all right? These letters, YHWH, implies God's self-existence, okay? And creative power. So it is traditionally seen as his personal name. Like my name is Gresham, his name is Yahweh. It is very personal. The verses that I referenced for this name of God is Exodus 34, verses 10 through 23. It's not the only place it's used, but because it's used actually more than 6,800 times in the Old Testament. It's somewhere around 6,824 to 828 times that it's used. In later versions, translations of the Bible, we just see the name Lord in place of Yahweh, okay? And doesn't that just seem fitting that Yahweh is just his personal name? Like, that's God's, like, it's his name. Like, my name is Gresham, your name is Joe, his name is Yahweh. And doesn't that make so much sense that he breathed the breath of life into Adam, into Eve? Isn't that, he created everything. He created everything. So for those letters to mean he who brings into existence, I just think that is just amazing to me. Now, this part is not in the Bible, okay? But someone once told me this, and it really resonated with me. It was so beautiful. And it's so comforting to me in those times when I don't know what to say, okay? When I don't have another tear to cry, another scream to scream, much less a word to say. This comforts me so much. The letters YHWH weren't actually a word, they were a sound. And they sounded like the sound of breath, of breathing. Breathe in, out. So every single time you breathe, you say his name. Whether you worship him or not. Whether you believe in him or not. You breathe in and you breathe out, you're saying God's name. Because he's your creator, whether you believe it or not. When you don't know what else to do. You don't know what else to say. You don't have another tear. You don't have another scream. You don't have another cry in you. Just breathe. Just breathe, y'all. And keep on breathing. Sometimes that's all we can do, and sometimes that's all you got to do to call on him. Is just breathe. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Drop questions, suggestions in the comments. I will see y'all tomorrow with Elohim. That's our word tomorrow, Elohim. Y'all have a good night.